All right, people that missed class, this is what you missed on Thursday. On Thursday, we had a short class. It was only 30 minutes long. And what we had time to talk about were neurotransmitters. Now remember, a neurotransmitter is a chemical released by a nerve. Now, there's lots of different neurotransmitters. Today, I want to highlight 3 of them. The first one, we've seen this before, acetylcholine. How have we seen it before? Yes, you're right. We learned about it with the muscle, that the brain sends a message down the nerve, and between the nerve and the muscle, there's that synaptic cleft. And what the nerve did at the end of the nerve, it released this stuff, acetylcholine, to tell the muscle it's go time. So one thing that acetylcholine is used for is nerve to muscle communication. Okay, I said one thing, because we also learned about acetylcholine in this unit. Do you remember? Yes, the way that a neuron works. First of all, the dendrite gets stimulated. Then sodium rushes in and potassium goes out. The sodium's positive charge goes down the axon, and then at the end of the axon, it releases acetylcholine in the synaptic cleft to tell the next neuron it's time to go. So it's used also for nerve-to-nerve communication. All right, acetylcholine. Enough with that. Let's talk about this one. Maybe you've heard about it. Serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter that's in your brain that makes the blood vessels in your brain get even smaller. Now, you know, in class, we worked on this a little bit more. We went in depth into it. What does that mean? How would that affect you? If the blood vessels in your brain get even smaller, how's that going to affect your brain? We connected the dots. That means there's going to be less blood going there. That means there's going to be less oxygen in there and less sugar going there. So what's going to happen is your brain activity is going to slow down. We talked about in class, when does this happen? Yeah, it happens at night. That's what happens, and that's why you start to go to sleep. See, again, you need sleep. Sleep is how you process the day. So what you're going to do is you start producing this neurotransmitter, serotonin, makes your blood vessels in your brain get smaller, your brain activity slows down, and then you start to go to sleep. Then we put another layer on it. This is the neurotransmitter, serotonin. But there's a hormone involved. And the hormone is melatonin. Melatonin tells this one gland in your brain called the pituitary gland, it's time to make serotonin. So we worked on it in class. Said, when do you start getting tired? People were saying it was like 10 o'clock. So that means that like 9:30, you start producing melatonin. And because you make this hormone melatonin, then all of a sudden you start producing this neurotransmitter serotonin. And your blood vessels get small and you get tired and you go to sleep. And then we talked about when you wake up, like on a Saturday, when do you wake up? People say, you wake up around 9 o'clock. So what happens is around 8:30, you stop making that hormone melatonin, which means you stop making the neurotransmitter serotonin, which means your blood vessels in your brain are going to get bigger, more oxygen goes to your brain, and then your brain becomes more active and you wake up. It's go time. And we put another layer on it. What if What if you make like serotonin like too much of the day? Like you just keep on making serotonin. How would that affect you? We said, oh, you'd just be tired all the time. Your brain activity would be low. You wouldn't want to do anything. Then we said, what umbrella would you be put under? If you go to a doctor and they say, well, you're just tired all the time, the brain activity's low and doesn't want to do anything. And we came up with it. We put it under the umbrella of depression. So a lot of depressions are caused because you're making too much serotonin all throughout the day. And then we talked about, well, how can the doctor help you? Aha, antidepressants. What do antidepressants do? Yes, they're serotonin inhibitors or serotonin blockers. So you take these things, it's going to block the serotonin, which means then your blood vessels are not going to get small, they're going to stay big, and your brain's going to become active. You're not going to be sleepy all the time. Your brain is active and you don't want to do anything. And then you're out of that umbrella of depression. And he said, what is the side effect of that? Oh no. Well, if you block the serotonin, that means at night, you can't turn off your brain. It's just like really, really active. So then that's the side effect of it, is that you can't go to sleep. Obviously, in class, we worked on it a whole lot more, but hopefully you get the gist of it. There's another one, and the other one is dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that gives you pleasure. Then I asked the class, well, if it gives you pleasure, where in the brain is it felt? Can you come up with the answer? Where do you feel pleasure in your brain? Yeah, we did learn about it. Yes, it's the hypothalamus. So what we did is over on the side of our notes, we just write down hypothalamus. And then we drew how the hypothalamus works. We said there's like a bag right here. And then there's like a bag right here. And then there's a tube that goes from this bag over to this bag. And in this bag, there's a whole bunch of rave green dots like this. Over on this bag, there's these little V's like this. And then we labeled the rave green dots dopamine. And we talked about Jesus. Jesus designed our body to run on a positive feedback system. Whenever we do something that we're supposed to do, we're going to get patted on the back, saying, keep doing what you're doing. That's good. We're going to talk about this in December. But I need 3,400 calories to run every day. That's how much food I got to put in my body. Man, I love these M&Ms. So look at what happens when I put food in my body. You squeeze out a little dopamine. And the dopamine is patting yourself on the back. It's giving you a good feeling. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Keep doing it. Don't mind if I do. Check out how much time I get from this M&M. Man, that's a good M&M. I'm still getting pleasure from the M&M. Dang, it's still in my mouth. My taste buds are sending a message right to my hypothalamus saying he's eating the M&Ms. Oh, it's starting to fade. It's gone. I don't know, maybe about 20 seconds. Whenever you do something that you're supposed to do that's right, you're going to release dopamine. Man, you go start to talk to somebody. You have a conversation with somebody. You're going to release dopamine in your brain. You're doing what you're doing. Nice job. You go exercise. You get that good feeling. Your body's going to pat yourself on the back. You're going to be releasing dopamine. Man, that is how our body is ran. So because we can understand that, then we can highlight two drugs. cocaine and nicotine. Got to pause this video so I could have time to show you my next video.